Welcome to the deep dive.
Glad to be here.
So today we're digging into something really interesting. It's this idea about how we humans can stay relevant, maybe even essential, as AI gets, incredibly capable.
Right. And we're looking at some thoughts from Amir Husain on this, specifically around first principles thinking.
Exactly. You shared that text, and it's got some compelling points. So our mission today is pretty clear. Figure out what this first principles thinking actually is, according to him,
Hmm.
why he argues it's so important now with AI everywhere, and I suppose what it means for anyone listening.
Sounds good. Amir Husain really gets to a core issue, I think. So should we start with the basics?
Hmm.
What are first principles based on his writing?
Okay, yeah, let's unpack that. He uses this image, I like to tree.
Right.
Most of the time, he suggests we're working up in the branches,
Well,
tweaking things, making adjustments to what's already formed.
pruning, essentially, making it look better or function slightly differently within the current structure.
Precisely. But first principles thinking, he says, is about going down, right down to the roots.
Fundamental truths.
Yeah, the absolute bedrock assumptions or facts of a field, and then building your understanding or maybe even solutions up from there.
So it's not just rearranging the existing pieces, it's understanding why the pieces are what they are in the first place, a much deeper level.
Exactly. And this is where the AI connection comes in, which I found really thought-provoking.
Hmm.
Amir Husain talks about how developers, and you can easily extend this to AI, can sometimes produce what he calls syntactic output.
Syntactic output, meaning
Meaning it looks correct. It follows the rules, the syntax, like an AI writing code that compiles or an essay that's grammatically perfect.
but without necessarily grasping the why behind it,
Yeah.
the deep underlying system.
That's the crux of it. Generating a result that fits the pattern versus truly understanding the foundational principles that make that result possible or meaningful.
Okay, I see. So you could get a perfectly structured argument about, say, economics from an AI.
Without the AI having any real grounded understanding of economic theory from the ground up. It's pattern matching, perhaps very sophisticated pattern matching, but maybe not deep comprehension in the human sense.
Right. And Amir Husain seems to suggest that relying only on that level, on just manipulating existing frameworks without the root knowledge,
Yeah.
could be, well, limiting,
Yeah.
especially when things need to change fundamentally.
But here's the optimistic part, I think.
Okay.
He argues that individuals who actually put in the work, maybe years of work, to build these really clear, deep mental models based on first principles.
The ones who did go down to the roots.
Yes. Those people will remain incredibly valuable, even with super smart AI assistants.
And why is that, according to him? What makes that deep model so resilient?
It seems to be about the depth itself. That layered understanding built from the ground up gives a kind of insight and flexibility that's maybe harder to replicate just by processing data however fast. It's about genuine comprehension.
A different kind of intelligence, maybe, or at least a different approach.
And it connects to another really big idea he touches on, this concept that the space of possible ideas, it's infinite.
Infinite. That's a bold claim.
Well, think about it conceptually. All potential thoughts, innovations, connections. It's vast. Limitless, really.
Okay, so even the most powerful AI.
Can only ever explore a tiny, tiny fraction of that infinite field. It's constrained by its data, its algorithms, its objectives.
Right. It operates within the boundaries it's been given, essentially. It might push them, but
Yeah.
infinity is, well, infinite.
So for the listener, Amir Husain seems to frame this not as a threat, but as a massive opportunity.
An opportunity. How so?
Because that vast, unexplored territory of ideas, that's where human thinking, especially thinking grounded in first principles, can really shine.
So by understanding the fundamental rules of the game,
You're better equipped to see entirely new ways to play it, or even invent new games altogether. Things an AI, stuck iterating on existing patterns, might miss.
that makes sense. It's about moving beyond just optimization and towards true creation or fundamental shifts.
Exactly. It's about leveraging our ability to understand deeply, not just calculate quickly.
So it's a call to cultivate that deeper foundational knowledge in whatever field interests you.
I think so. So if we wrap up this deep dive into Amir Husain's ideas, the main takeaway is that in this age of AI, thinking from first principles, really getting the foundations, isn't just a nice to have. He suggests it's pretty crucial for staying relevant, for innovating, for being human in a way.
It's about the quality and depth of understanding, not just the quantity or speed of output.
Well put.
So maybe a final thought for everyone listening, building on this.
Yeah.
Think about a subject you're really into, or your field of work. What are the absolute rock-bottom first principles, the foundational truth that's all built on?
Hmm. Like the axioms?
Sort of, yeah.
Uh,
What if you spent time really digging into those? How might that deeper exploration unlock insights or ideas you'd completely miss if you just stayed at the surface level working with the existing branches? Something to mull over.
Definitely something to think about.